So this is tricky for me to do sometimes because it's so like opposite of what my perception with this shit kind of is now. But I'm gonna try my best to enter the mind of the lifter who skips legs on the regular, if not completely. Zero leg training. So let's think about this. What would I say? So I mean, pretty classic. Everybody's gonna go, dude, are you seriously skipping legs again? What's my rebuttal? What's my immediate defense? It's like, um, well, there could be legitimate reasons. I mean, I'm not gonna say everyone needs to squat a bazillion fucking pounds. If your knees are totally shot, if you're kind of an older character, or you've dealt with like legitimate, like serious kind of potentially sports related injuries, or just whatever. I mean, if your knees are in a seriously compromised state, that's a different example. And that's not who I'm talking about here. I'm talking about the perfectly able, but not so much the perfectly willing. So what are they going to say? It's, I just need a little rest day, man. Or eh, honestly, it's fucking, somebody skipping legs, they're unapologetic. They don't even need to come up with an excuse. They just say, oh, I felt like chest, bro. Come on. Dude, come on, bro. Quit dogging on me. It's arm day. Dude, I got back today. All my buddies are doing back. What am I supposed to do? Legs? Come on. You're not even supposed to squat like that much weight, bro. That's like really bad for your back. Like that's a lot of pressure on your knees, dude. I mean, are you crazy? That's not. You really shouldn't be even doing that. And then squatting is really bad for you. But like Tom Platt says, you shouldn't even do leg press. So it's like whatever. I barely ever see any excuses for hamstrings. I think hamstrings just don't get enough love in general. Nobody. I never hear anybody talk about even skipping hamstrings. Usually quads are going to take the show of any leg day anyway. But, all that's to say, it's like, what are you doing, man? Come on. A real ass lifter, through and through, he's going to hit legs. And if you have any real kind of, I mean, there's no better word than fucking aspiration for gaining legitimate size, it doesn't take that long for your upper body to fucking outclass your legs if you completely neglect them. And then I guess it's up to you. Are you going to become a men's physique competitor? That's a completely different situation. But I mean, come on, right? There is no real reason apart from I don't want to. It's hard. I'm going to be sweating. It's not as cool as like an arm pump, but that makes it extra cool for anybody that actually does train legs and is able to fucking go through the kind of, well, I mean, no better word to say than fucking hassle of going through that training, because nobody's willing to do it. So if you can have a reasonable fucking squat, if you can, well, leg press isn't the most impressive lift just because you can kind of, I know it's silly to say muscle your way through, but leg press isn't an awesome strength readout. Something like a barbell squat, if you can throw 4 plates around for like a full set, 6 minimum, that is nuts. You don't see that all the time. You see that very rarely. So that's my shtick there. And I hope that isn't a personal attack on any of you guys, because if you're watching these, well, actually, I mean, if you're watching this video, then you probably do train your legs. My leg lifts, just looking at it from an analytics side, they get the least interaction of all of them. I'd say chest is number one. Arms and back are just about tied. Arms might be a little bit ahead, and legs are in last. But that doesn't really surprise me. Just a reflection of the fitness world in a way. But what was I going to say? So that's my thoughts. Train your legs. Go fucking hard. Don't be a wuss. It's supposed to be hard, right? Don't try to get around it by doing like a hamstring only day and then a quad only day. That's not my approach. Legs is legs. Hit them all. You're good. But when it comes to squats specifically, and this is half a gripe, but also just in a gains perspective, you guys got to start squatting to depth. I mean, I see it far too often, comically so, in some instances where it's like somebody has the safeties at, you know, like stomach level, like upper stomach level, and then they squat, you know, 90 degrees. Now, I guess do whatever you want. I mean, there are the kind of fitness guys where they're like, you know, a 90-degree leg bend, knee bend in the squat is the most optimal. Dude, come on, right? Parallel or slightly below, that's the way to do it. So and I've got a, so when it comes to 1 rep maxes, like impressiveness wise, I think deadlifts and bench, obviously those are the two top contenders. Bench a little bit ahead of deadlifts, but I still see it sometimes. I'll see guys go for a 1 rep max of squats, and that is that's the 1 rep attempt which I see the most crashes and fucking slams and just incidents next to. And I can tell you why. It's because of improper fucking safety, safety utilization, as well as cannonballs, you know. And, it might make, I mean, I've done it before for sure. It might make a little bit of sense. It's like, okay, this is a lot of weight. This is really hard. I want to get this done quick. All right, come on. Nice controlled descent. And then if you've got the safeties like 2-3 inches below your, you know, the bottom of your range of motion for your squat, and you actually fail, then you don't have to get fucking crumpled like a, crumpled like what? Oh, crumpled like a fucking piece of paper. You can just rest it down gently. But you shouldn't even be doing that 1 rep max in the first place. You're not going to get anything out of it except for, you know, some fun. So that's where, I mean, I think I'll be saying this for a while. I want the 10 rep max to get more love, especially in a bodybuilding sense of things. And you don't have to be a bodybuilder to be into bodybuilding. If you're lifting because you want to get bigger, you're bodybuilding. Now, you're not competing, but that's what you're doing. You're trying to get fucking bigger. So if we can get a little bit more attached to that 10 rep PR, I think we'll see more gains overall because of it. But that's a hard sell. The 1 rep is, I mean, it's a pretty simple, true test of your maximum strength output. But if that's at the cost of fucking, you know, a quad pull, a knee tweak, you know, a spine twinge, or like a bulged disc, I mean, what are we doing? But plan for legs today. No more just dogging on or ranting. Hamstrings first. Curls, probably just laying curls today. I think the seated curl of this gym I'm not a massive fan of. So laying curls of a few varieties, maybe a little bit of Smith machine RDL action, or oh no, cable RDLs. Yeah, I forgot this gym has a cable machine that I can actually use for those, which I'll just explain later. I like those a bit more than like a barbell or dumbbells or anything. And then quads, yeah, to be determined. To be determined. I'm starting to get on a leg press kick, so I know that'll be involved. Leg extensions as the opener, kind of just as a sort of warm up, mild quad pump inducing, get my knees nice and loaded so that I don't feel any twinges when I get on the leg press. And then we just go from there. So I bet it'll take just about an hour and a half or so from first set to the end. But I will, I can actually look back at it, because all these, every time I like take a video, so when I take the video of the first set and when I take video of the last set, it has, I mean, it's got a time code in it, so I can actually really see. It's like, okay, started at, you know, 4:15, last set was at, you know, 5:50, hour and, you know, however many minutes. But usually legs is a little bit longer. That's just kind of because I do a little bit longer rest periods. Legs is pretty taxing. But no more talking. Let's get to some leg curls. Usually, I would say, or at least usually I would think, one-sided movements take twice as long. They're not as efficient, but they do have their benefits in terms of just, in some cases, added isolation. I feel like I'll do single leg extensions in a bit because I know I'll be able to squeeze extra hard with each quad individually. So same thing here, light squeezing, 5 reps on actually no, let's do a straight set. So right side of failure, left-sided failure, and move on from there. These will be slowly controlled, at least in the beginning. There we go. Okay. One more. Exact same style. Oh, God. 3 plates is the top end for me on these RDLs. I would do the cable machine I wanted, but it was taken. And these aren't bad. But if I try to go much heavier than this, I'm just going to feel my lower back and my glutes. Like, sure, you could try to do a set of, a bench with like the heaviest weight you can possibly do. But if all you end up doing is activating a ton of shoulders and a ton of triceps to move the weight, it's like, well, what are we even working? Are we doing chest or are we just doing a full-on upper body press? So this is like the limit that I can actually target my hamstrings without totally thrashing my lower back and my glutes. Because you gotta remember, I still have pressing to do later. If I completely tire out and fatigue my posterior chain, I mean, I'll be fine on leg press, but if I try any squatting, I'm gonna feel fucking wobbly. So RDLs pre-squats, I would say be mindful of your lower back fatigue. Okay. Probably one more, then back to curls. Yeesh. Oh, yeah. Okay. Whoa. One more of those, but only 2 plates instead of 2.5.
Oh. A little too much lower back on those for my liking. But I think one more drop set of RDLs and we can start quads. This is going to be a two-portion little two-portion hamstring destruction is a good way to put it. So however many reps I can do with the stack, which not important that it's just a stack, but just as much weight as I can do for like 5, 6, whatever. Well, more than 5 for sure. But after failure there, that's not the end of the story. Cut the weight by like half and then finish with some lighter squeezing stuff. And sometimes I like doing it reverse. Like start with like 10 light squeezing reps, all right? Get some kind of fatigue, get whatever. Then throw a lot of weight on and kind of muscle your way through some serious weight after whatever muscle is already targeted and fatigued. So end of the lift, I'm not too concerned with the actual insane science of it. I want to be pumped, burning, and fatigued. And I know this is going to do that for me. And I can be confident in moving on to quads and be able to say, hamstrings was good. Now I can put all my attention to this instead of looking back and saying, oh man, should I have done more hamstrings? It's like, try not to leave anything on the table. But let's just get amped up and throw the shit around. All right. All right. Come on. Oh God, fuck. Oh God. Okay. Time for leg extensions. I'm already fucking drenched too. Not always the easiest thing to set up, I will admit, but if you can manage to jerry-rig some of your gym's spare belts around your leg extension to hold yourself down like a seatbelt, I love it. Because now instead of having to hold myself down my fucking traps and like squeeze my forearms and flex my fucking lats and my back, it's like, plus now I can't breathe as well because I'm hunched over. Dude, I mean, it's just saved me so much extra unnecessary work. I mean, it's not like a game changer. Your quads aren't going to magically explode. But little things like this, if you can manage it, I like it. So instead of my typical left side, right side, 5 reps, let's go back to basics. Still single leg, but completely thrash the left leg, match reps on the right leg. Because my right quad's a little bit bigger than my left one. So I want to completely hit failure here. Let this get maximum stimulation. But if this one, I get to 20 reps and this is failure, I'll just stop there, because this one's ahead of the game. But let's just get amped up and go crazy. All right, come on. Oh my God. Okay. All right. A few more. Okay. One more. One more. Okay. All right. Time for some pressing. Oh. All right. 10 plates is not insane weight, but pretty perfect working weight. This is going to be minimum 15 reps. And if it's not 15, it's because I was a fucking wuss. So let's get amped up and make it happen. Okay. Oh. Let's repeat that for a few more. Yeah. Oh my God. Whoa. Fucking hell. One more at the same weight. Getting okay. Let's move on. What am I getting a little too ego lifted on those ones? But those were still nasty. Oh shit, I'm getting lightheaded. Oh man. One more light squeezing. I think 10 plates was too much. 8 was the sweet spot last leg day, but today I kind of wanted to push the envelope. So 3 sets with 10 plates kind of equated to the subjective damage that I felt from the last leg day's 5 sets of 8. So I think next leg day when I come back and do 10, it'll feel more normal because I'm not used to really heavy leg press yet, but still good sets. Now I just want to get fully pumped up with some alternating ones. These don't even have to be total failure in my mind. It's like I just want to get really good squeezing. And then once I feel like my quads have had enough, go pose down and get out of here. As long as I'm playing a good song. Cascade. Okay. All right. All done.
Legs is a tricky one. Hamstrings, not so much. And leg extensions, not so much. Honestly, I've got a pretty easy time going to failure with the leg extensions. But pressing gets tricky. Pressing gets fucking tricky because you got a lot of instincts in your brain that's telling you, in your last couple sets of a leg press, like, rack this shit, man, rack it. So that's my primary fucking thought process, is trying to fight against that. Say, all right, no, come on, hit it. And half of that is kind of it's like a disconnect from what you're really doing. It's because when I'm doing those leg presses and I'm doing like a couple sets in a row, I try not to think about it too much, right? Because in between all those sets, I'm sitting down on the fucking on the calf raise for like 3-4 minutes, catching my breath again, and I'm like really fucking huffing because those were hard. So once that time is up, same thing with going to the gym or getting up and doing your cardio. It's like, all right, this is gonna be hard. The longer I think about it and the more I tell myself this is a hard thing to do, then it's just gonna fucking give it more power over myself than it really needs. Hit play, go. Right? Don't even stress too fucking bad. Right? But no other set is like that. Even stuff that I do that's heavy. I've done really heavy incline bench, no spotter, no safety, no nothing, like straight up just dangerous. But I wouldn't get that same kind of like nervous feeling as with heavy squats and heavy leg press. So I think it's just something about legs. It's got to be, it's probably got to do with, it's probably just got to do with like your motor recruitment. Your quads are the biggest muscle in your body. It would make sense. It's got its own kind of, special quirks compared to everything else. But, that's the point of it, An arm pump is fun. Let's just say for me specifically, an arm pump is fun. A back pump is really consistent. Chest pumps are fucking crazy, and leg pumps are just hard to get. Not in a scarcity kind of way, but just purely in a difficulty kind of way. But it kind of balances itself out. I'll get some comments where not so much now, and I think half of the reason why I don't get so many "Sam, why are you lifting every day" comments is because I'm still like making gains. Of course, if somebody was making zero gains, you're the most prone to criticism of your training style, which rightfully so. Of course, it's clearly not working. But even though I'm working out pretty much on repeat indefinitely, I do take the occasional rest day when I really need it. But for the most part, I can work out consistently months on end, fine, barring any, sickness or scheduling conflict. But it's not the same level of difficulty every lift. Like legs is probably my most traumatic. If you were to look at the amount of, well, if you were able to just numerically quantify the amount of fatigue and workload that just got done or that gets done in all my lifts, quads is definitely the biggest one, right? Quads is the lift where or not quads, legs in total, because it's a big day, two pretty big muscle groups, pretty much, I mean, literally your entire lower body. But that's the hard one, right? That one I'm going to feel in the morning. I'm going to feel a little extra fatigue from, that's legit. But tomorrow being chest, I mean, just think about it in just in like a pure amount of muscle that's going to be worked sort of perspective. It's like, how heavy, I mean, let's just say butcher style. I got filleted, and my quads and my hamstrings plus my adductors a little bit of glutes were plopped down on a scale. I mean, how many pounds of muscle is that just got worked all in one day, compared to like my chest, right? So chest is going to be easier. It's not going to be so destructive on my entire system. I'm simply not doing as much work. The workload is now lower. Back, Back is a pretty big muscle, that's for sure. So that's up there. I'd say similar level of fatigue as chest, even though it is a bigger muscle. And then arms is definitely the lightest. I mean, I'm not going to be completely dead after an arm day. So it's like, even though the training is, on repeat, the intensity of the actual fatigue is kind of variable, right? The most of it's during legs, and then throughout the week it kind of decreases. Chest, back, arms being the easiest, and then legs again, so it's kind of that's sort of the rotation. So if you're doing something more like a push-pull legs, which, I mean, it's just literally training every muscle group more frequently in a condensed way, then push-pull legs, rest, push-pull legs, rest makes a bit more sense. I mean, you're literally hitting every muscle group in the same frequency that I am, right? If you do push-pull legs, rest, and then repeat, that's every muscle group in 4 days, which is the kind of loop that I'm doing. But I've got a better time spreading it out because I'm not a huge back and biceps fan. Chest and tris, I don't mind. And of course, legs, I still train that together. But I like a dedicated arm day. So if I were to do like a 3-day on, 1-day off kind of loop, and I want a full leg day and I want a full arm day, then that only leaves that other day for chest and back. And for me, chest and back in 1 day is too much. That is because by the time I finish a full chest workout, I mean, I'm tired. I'm done. I feel like I've done a full like hour-long-ish lift, and then now I got to start back. I'm not. I don't really see it. So that's where that's kind of how my split has originated. Sort of Arnold split, except chest and back each get their own day. Right. So kind of not a bro split. Like, I don't hit one muscle group once a week. That frequency is a bit too low. I think you could hit everything a bit more frequently than that per week and make better gains. Not just the same, but better. But somebody doing a full body lift every day, muscle growth wise, not sure that's the best method. General, just like fitness and athleticism wise, you're good. If you're just trying to stay nice and limber, come into the gym, move some weight around, that's all you need to do. But in a muscle growth phase where you're adding your cardio, adding your calories, you're tracking everything perfectly, you're trying to make legit gains over time, that's where hitting every body part about twice a week, along with along with proper rest days, right? If you need them, take them, of course. If you can tell you're ready for some more training, you've been eating enough food, you've been getting enough sleep, I think you're good to, work out on loop. But that's, use your best judgment, of course. So yeah, pretty soon. Oh my god. Yeah. Oops. Yeah, so pretty soon-ish, I think I'm gonna do a little, maybe kind of maybe not a three-parter. Really, there's only two parts to really get into, but I'm gonna try to make a video really kind of condensing, more short. Like it's not gonna be an hour long. It'll be a bit kind of quicker, just sort of talking about some tips, some training, whatever. Just a little more short form because I'm making eventually, like, not super soon, like not in the next few months or anything, but these videos are definitely going to get a change in their format. Probably, soon-ish. Not like, don't expect don't expect the next video to be like 10 OnlyFans girls in the gym. Which one's the strongest? Challenge. You're never going to see a thumbnail like that, of course. But yeah, eventually they'll kind of change up a little bit, But that'll be for later. So until then, let's just keep up with the training. Try to drop some reasonably informative tips here and there. And make some gains, man. That's what we're all fucking here for. So, if you're having a little bit of trouble with your, with your balancing of your lifts and your school, and hard to avoid it, not that you should avoid it, but your, let's just say, distractors, right? Let's say you got a group of, you got a little crew where Friday through, well, let's say they even pregame Friday with a Thursday night out, Thursday through Saturday night, plus a little bit of like a Sunday darty. Yeah, there we go. Almost forgot the word for that. If you got a crew like that and they're really egging you, and you've only got so much time in the day to lift, hey man, you got to live with your decisions over the next couple of years. So you can either be jacked, or you can have a bunch of stories about like a badass shot of like a double kick rebound that you got when you were playing dice. Now, which one's more important to you? That's not rhetorical, right? That's for you to kind of look introspectively and come up with an answer for yourself. But no more chatting. Legs complete. No, no pose down. Oh my god, I'm so tired. No pose down because the yoga room was packed. Well, I mean, not packed, but they had like a class going on, and I don't mind. I mean, I don't even mind losing the shirt sometimes if the gym's not too busy in there, and like if I've got my own mirror space on like a little side, and I can, but dropping the pants, that gets a little crazy. I'd rather be in private for that. So that's 2 leg days which I haven't checked the pump for. Maybe next leg day they're going to be extra freaking big, and I'm going to have to make an Amazon order for some quadruple X pants. But we'll get there. We'll get there soon enough. So I'll see you tomorrow for a chest pump where my pecs are going to be inflated faster than the U.S. economy. So I will see you then.